just want to open PDFs, you piece of shit. Hell, well. What was that noise? So, I had a bit of a freak out the other day because my phone stopped working. Obviously, that means I have nothing to monitor the stream with, but also it's my phone, goddammit. But that's all sorted out, apparently. I took the back off, and I went to, I inspected, the areas which looked like they were going to be totaled by water, and they all looked fine, so I was worried, double worried, at this point. Because when things look fine and it's been in water, it's not going to be a happy time. Anyway, I decided before I go any further, I ordered a whole bunch of stuff to try and sort it out. Some alcohol, soldering mat. I had some links up on eBay for parts. And yeah, I thought to myself, I'll press the power button, for one last time before I dive in and take this thing actually fully apart. It flashed red, so I just charged it, and now it works fine. So yeah, it could be like if you remember the episode of Lewis Rossman Fixes an Apple Mac Board, he did a small interlude where he asked himself and the viewership of his channel and the world, how much water exactly does it take to stop an IC from working? He put a dot, a dab, a bead of purified water on top of an IC. There was no kind of overspill. It didn't even go onto the legs, and it shut off completely. So maybe it was something like that, and the water had finally disapparated after I'd blasted it with a heat gun. Anyway, phones being as they are, I had to fix it back together somehow, and a helpful guy on the forum said that Tesa tape is what he uses to put his iPhone repairs back together. And you know what? I got loads of Tesa tape, so I thought, why not? Try the Tesa tape. Works fine. Worked great. It's the only problem on my end with the Tesa tape is that my application of the tape itself, because it's obviously 4 separate pieces of tape rather than a continuous strip of adhesive, there's an even bigger risk now of further water ingress. So that's just something to keep in mind, I guess. It's not a bad phone, but moving forward, maybe the next phone I get, maybe like a certified waterproof, splash-proof, dip-proof kind of phone, rather than something that's like, if it rains, maybe it'll still work kind of phone, So I remember when phones were deathly afraid of water. You showed them a cup of water and they'd just blow up. But anyway, that's not today's stream. Sorry, the stream today is so late. I know it's a weekday and people, I think, prefer a later stream on a weekday because it kind of, they're not at work. Or they are at work. There is a whole globe that I'm projecting to, obviously. But yeah, I guess it's a thing. If I stream after around the 5, the 6, the 7 o'clock, more people in my time zone will be able to watch me. I guess theoretically, it doesn't ever work out like that, so I kind of just stream when I want to. But anyway, the reason I was held up was because I was finally, it pushed me over the brink. I wanted to clean and restore my PlayStation 3 controller that I use for my PC games. Because while I have several other controllers that I could use for PC games, this is the best one. And I'm invested in it, and you know, it's a good controller. I wanted to show it some love. Anyway, I took it apart, which is the easy bit. I cleaned all the pieces inside, soap and water. You know, scrub that main board down. That's what you meant to do, right? What? No. I took the hand polished case and I unpolished it with some wire wool. And can you tell I'm stalling because I don't want to actually do any C++? It's fucking scary. So I matte finished the controller areas. I washed the triggers. I washed the bit in between the triggers, which is a separate piece of casing, which is a massive pain in the ass to fucking put back together. I didn't matte finish the middle with the Sony logo, the DualShock 3 or the 6-axis stuff, or the back with the sticker, which, I mean, is gone anyway, but whatever. I managed to not lose any screws, and yeah, I painted the bit in between the shoulder buttons and the trigger buttons gold because I wanted to, and that's it. It took me a full hour to put back together because it is a bitch. There's can you hear that? So that's the shoulder buttons, and what was that noise? If you put the shoulder buttons in wrong, there's a soft membrane switch underneath the shoulder button front. So there's a plastic front, and it pushes on a membrane switch. And if you don't align the membrane switch with the plunger on the back of the plastic thing, the switch might work, also might not work. And also feels really sloppy and sludgy and not very nice. Not like a gamepad should feel like. Yeah, so I spent half an hour trying to fit that in because you gotta keep that in place. You gotta push the plastic out towards the outside of the case. You gotta push the plastic fairing that's in between the trigger and the shoulder buttons down to keep it inside the case, and then you've got to, because the buttons are attached to the triggers, you've got to also align the triggers to where they go on the plastic shroud, which has all the hat switch contacts, and it has some pins to hold the triggers in the XY location. And then also when I was screwing it back together, apparently the main board on the inside of the controller goes underneath the triggers, so I had to take the triggers out and do it again, which took another half an hour. So yeah, PlayStation 3 controllers, everyone, don't take them apart. Anyway, on the show, we got Unreal Engine 4 and C++ to do. So let's try that maybe. Let's just try the auto fixes that Visual Studio is preparing for us here. Oh shit! They all went away. Runtime engine private component sphere component.cpp. Can I let's do that. Now there it goes. We're building. So the problem we had last time was that the book is out of date and the actual functions for, oh no, we've got red text again. The actual functions for doing stuff like this have changed. What was that noise? Good slime. There we go. Error. 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 Error C4273. Use sphere component. Use sphere component. Inconsistent DLL linkage. No, see previous definition of Sator. God damn it. So, yeah, okay, error list, here we go. Is that in sphere component? Pointed to incomplete, class type is not allowed. Hello CPP, line 22. Sphere visual. Should I move the asterisk over? I remember reading in a Python manual that an asterisk in the wrong place can fuck some shit up or some shit. Don't ask me. So, unlike last time, this time I have a Mozilla Firefox tab open on my second monitor. The worst fake speedrun on YouTube. Okay, no. And we go to Google. We go to our Papa Google and we type in UE4 inconsistent DLL linkage. Yeah. Help! Inconsistent DLL linkage in Unreal Tournament theorems. That text is small. This is the Unreal Tournament forum. I have not seen that logo in a very long time. I followed the C++ game mode tutorial from the wiki and the game mode compiled okay. Once I added a new class, that is when I can get it to compile anymore. Keep getting various inconsistent DLL linkage errors. Any help would be great. So he's got, oh, that is not his code, that is his build log, isn't it? Yeah, that's his build log and his errors. Oh, it's just code. That's just the heading it gives to all code blocks. He's just typed it into a code block. Okay, that's fine. Here is my public files. utdom game mode.h. Parameter 1, sharp include core.h, sharp include unreal tournament.h, sharp include utt game mode.h, sharp include utdom game state.h, sharp include utdom game mode.generated.h, uclass blueprintable, comma, meta equals child can tick class unreal tournament ap. God damn, it's not that. Game mode public at team mode game mode generated uclass body. New property, blueprint read only, category equals DOM, AUT DOM game state, virtual void initial game, constant F string map name, constant F string options, F string and error message, override, virtual void init game state. Okay. Okay. Let's get to the answers for Christ's sake. utdom game mode.h21. See previous definition of init game state. You have to override the initial game state function like this. Code virtual void init game state override. I finally got it to compile. For anyone who's having this issue, it does require altering the UT game code for it to work. Remove Unreal Tournament API from UT-DOM-GameMade.h, adding UT Unreal Tournament API to UT Game Objective.h. Okay, so he's moved basically the code that he's trying to reference from one file to another file, and it's referenced at OK somehow. UT-DOM-GameState, UT-DOM-GameState parameter once, Unreal Tournament.h, UT-DOM-GameMode.h, control point.h, nomination objective.h. Big confuse. Use the AFX extension module. This means that you are implementing an MFC extension DLL. For such extension DLLs, you'll have to define the preprocessor underscore AFX ext. Set this in the C++ compiler settings here of Visual C++. Do you know what might be an idea? I'm gonna close this, and we're on page. Well, we're on chapter 4, aren't we? So page 135. So I'm gonna go back. No. You know, it's important to try, right? It's important to try and get a head around the troubleshooting thing, right? Identifier sphere asset is undefined. Use static mesh component star u object, create default subobject, use static mesh component, fn name, subobject name, bool, be transient equals false. So we've got some callouts here. Oh. Subobject name, be transient. Do we just, can we just get rid of that then? Can we just... Is that going to fix it? Have they simplified the creation? I didn't give it enough time to see if that was still red text. Whoa! Welcome to the mouth noise stream. No. What do you want from me? Hey. Identifier sphere mesh is undefined. Yeah, it's this, bro. I'm just gonna consult the book a moment. Because, I mean, why would I have, new text render component? Did I do that? I did. And that's fine, right? This, wait, do I need to, I don't need to build the H files, do I? Maybe I do. There are no errors in the H file, okay. It is all this that is fucked up. Oh no, this sphere component.cpp. Where is that? Where even is that? If I double click this, is it gonna... So, for context, these are files made... This... It's fucking read-only. I can't change any of this. Is this thing meant to be Pragma once? Am I fucking something up here? Hold on, let me rotate my phone so this is actually legible. Okay, that's fine. Like a standard C++ right? No, my phone decides it doesn't want to scroll properly anymore. Oh shit! I didn't update the thing. Ripsy. Whoopsie. uh. Hmm. when working with Unreal Engine objects is within the default constructor that you will specify a majority of your object initialization functionality, as it is here that you are able to populate and initialize your object components. The reason we do this in the constructor and not in begin play is we wish the components to be added and initialized before our product is playing at what we call editor time. This means our object's components will be created and initialized when the project is run. We will then be able to work with these components within the editor, much like we have done so far in the book. Definition of the default constructor. Cool. Create default subobject. Bet. Use sphere component star. Okay. There's one thing. Wait, no, that is right. Sphere component.cpp. Nope. Nuh-uh. Just I just want general definitions for these errors. I don't want people's specific fucking problem for them. So what if we swap those around so that the declaration is after? It's not though, is it? It's the other way around. No. Using component attached to component function does not take one argument. Attach this component to another scene component optionally at a named socket. It is valid to call this on the components whether or not they have been registered. However, from star constructor or when not registered, preferable to use setup attachment. That could help. One less error to deal with. This is meant to be, you know, all fun and games, you know. Oh, text is a bracket function, okay. See if that, does that build? No. So, only got 13 errors now. Whoa! There goes the book. There goes the controller. Oh, before I forget, I got the piece of plastic out. It wasn't, as I had worried, it wasn't a screw holder. It was, in fact, the spider, one leg of the spider for the D-pad. Nice surprise. It's a somewhat superfluous part, and most of it was still intact, so it still works fine, but yeah, it's good. Although I have no idea where it went. I didn't see it fall out. And the only thing that I took out were a couple of plastic tabs. One was from the end of it, of course, but I don't know where the actual arm went. Use sphere component. Sphere component equals create default subobject. Use sphere component text root component. That's fine. Root component is equal to sphere component. Okay. Now we got 15 errors. Back to the DLL linkage. That's all the sphere component stuff. You know what? Do you know what? Yeah. Let's start again. Maybe I just fucked something up, okay? Oh. Huh. Ah. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yep. Yep. It's an actor. I created an object last time. I know I did. Not only because I feel it in my balls that I did, but I remember doing it. I remember being like, no, this is ending this game. We can't find anything. You just click the bag. And it didn't. Yeah, well done. That's what you get for not reading things. Why am I even using a book if I'm not going to fucking read? Exactly. Holosphere. Arite. Very good. We got Pragma once. We got Core Minimal. We got Hello Sphere generated. Game Framework. Pragma once. Hello CPP.api. Generated body. Lovely, 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 lovely. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna open the CPP. There we go. Okay. We got the CPP up. We got the H file up. We're ready to roll. I don't know why it does not automatically include hello cpp.h. Does this have it? This doesn't have it. So yeah, what's going on with that? Cool. It can tick. Class text. What is that? 0 errors. Oh, there were no errors in the H file anyway. It is important to note that this has not created the component. We have merely added a handle in the form of a pointer that is of the type uTextRender component. Oh, you ever think about how much water people who narrate audiobooks drink in a day? All that talking? Damn. Navigate back to hellosphere.cpp and write some mad lines. Slap in them bars. Stack up those dollar bills. What? Within the definition of our default constructor, add the following code. Okay, it's in here. So I guess I'll just slap it on after these boys. Root component hitboxy boy. Seems legit to me. Can I spell? Mate, can I spell? What? Yeah, we're back to the same shit. Identify a uSphere component as undefined. use sphere component, start, sphere component. And then oh, no errors. Yeah, I think starting maybe the project without the starter content and then adding the starter content in maybe didn't bring all the files it needed to bring over. Maybe it missed some file. I'll move my chair over to the left so I'm more central to the keyboard for typing. Maybe I can prop my phone up there. Oh, hey, this is alright. I don't mind this. Do you remember that meme? Word night was it Word 99? Write words and shit, yo. Microsoft Word. Microsoft what up? That is an old meme. Damn, it's working now. Hell yeah. Blazing. Someone's gonna burst into the comments now and be like, why use an arrow key to get to the end of the line? We can just press the end button. That's a good point, actually. You should probably just press the end button. Ooh, argument of type const with chart is incompatible with parameters of type object. Line 20. Too few arguments in function call. Oh. It's because it's the wrong fucking function call. No issues. Did I type that? I don't feel like I typed that. I feel like I may have accidentally pressed tab. Here we're creating and initializing the sphere component that will be used to detect overlaps and collisions with the helisphere actor. As you see here, we are utilizing the create default subject template function. Good. So this is the hitbox. Go. It's a sphere, it's fine. It's a hit sphere, fine. But what? Well, we're making it out of a use sphere component. Is that okay? Is this gonna render as a is this gonna be a big ball on screen? I don't want that. Overlap all dynamic, great. I'll overlap. There's no collisions, right? This is not a ball we're making. I've just this second realized after reading through it 3 times and writing root component hitboxy boy. This is not a ball. This is in fact a hitbox. Big think. We're creating initializing the stoof. Here we go. Create and attach a sphere mesh. Next, we're going to do is add our sphere mesh component. Blah blah blah. Engine.h header file is included in the hello code.h by default. So my hello cpp.h will include the engine code now. Surely it should have included the engine code before, but it didn't. So those auto shapes, those primitives, they're apparently starter content and not fun to watch someone use C++ and Unreal Engine 4. Worked many times in C# and C++, but got bored writing my own engine. Started using Unreal Engine blueprints, but that takes more time to learn than using code, I know. Actually, as you can see by the fact that I literally just scrapped the project and rewrote it entirely up to the point at which I got to last time, which was a 3-hour stream. No, I'm going to completely disagree with you. As someone who has written very few programs in actual code language, blueprints are way more friendly. Although at the same time, you got to know the blueprint widget that you're looking for. That is the only thing that annoys me. Like, I can't just be like, oh, I want to, you know, a Bezier curve. No, you got to make that, and then you got to find out what all the parts of that are called, and then you got to do it on a spline. It's a pain in the ass sometimes, but so is this. C++ is pain in the ass. Blueprint's pain in the ass. Basically, doing anything worthwhile doing is a pain in the ass. It's effort, you know. I don't want to be negative about it, but it is. It's effort. I've run out of tea, haven't I? Oh, I've got tea! Yes! No, I've run out of tea. Oh! Sorry. I just got to read this a little bit more carefully, because I don't know exactly where it wants me to put this stuff. 220. That takes in an F name representing the collision profile you wish to change to. Make any changes to the collision settings required to match this profile. It's very similar to what you do in collision settings. Yeah, great, it's fine. I get that. Next thing we're going to do is add a static mesh component to be used. Sphere, create a use static mesh component, and then assign it static mesh asset. We have in our content browser. Unlike Blueprint, we do not have access to drag and drop functionality in the content browser. Why not? Next feature for Unreal Engine, drag and drop functionality for Visual Studio Code. Wouldn't that be great? If you could just blend seamlessly between the drag and drop system and the typey system. So you could drag and drop something, it would change the code, and then you could change the code also yourself. With blueprints, you need to know the code and function infrastructure of writing code, then you need to learn the UA way of programming with blueprints. But I love the challenge. Guess that's... What makes me a code creator? Yeah. And I am but a lowly scrub. But yeah, that's exactly the feeling with blueprints. It's like, I want to do something, and I type in maybe some word, which is what I want to do, and nothing comes up, and it's like, well, I'll type in like maybe, you know, a word which is similar but slightly different. Nothing will come up, and then I Google it, and it's like, oh, of course it's that word, and then, yeah, stupid. But at the same time, it couldn't use just any old words, because then it would be completely unintelligible. You have to write the whole thing using your own fucking words. And could you imagine that? Could you just imagine? You take all the blueprints out of Unreal, you take the names off them, you take the functions off them, and then you have to write a new name for every blueprint that you ever wanted to use before you started using the Unreal Engine. See, that's even more work. Don't do that. Do not attempt. Do not attempt. Abort. Meshy boy. Use static mesh component. Here we go. Expected a semicolon. Well, oh, it went blue. Sorry, it didn't go blue last time. I'm really happy about this. It's simply correcting the one mistake I made last time, 2 mistake I made last time, 4 mistake I made last time has led me to have fewer mistake. Yeah, we're doing the expression. I'm writing it right now. We need a new programming language. Kill this enemy, give me a point, and X amount of XP, and then keep going. Yeah, I mean, this is really the problem. Like the higher level the coding gets, 1, the less specific it is, and 2, the less efficient it is. So it's like think of it like levels of compression. So going from C or C++ to machine code is you know, a fairly small step. It's like you've saved it as a PNG. You're only encoding the colors which are in the image to the image file, so you can save on a bit of space. But it's, you know, when you open it, it still looks like the image, right? Yeah, but this is a terrible analogy. I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue. But if you go to you know, a theoretical higher level programming language where you basically just speak English, and then that will write maybe a C++ language or interpret it directly to machine code, be more like saving as like a JPEG with really high compression. There's going to be like artifacts, and there's going to be places where the machine made a decision about what you meant rather than the other way around. And you might lose functionality, or it might go slower, you know. And I don't know. I don't mind C++, honestly. Like in general, not in general, but like the basic building blocks of the C language, the C++ language, they're not hard to really grasp, and they're not big ideas. You know, it's basically it's either maths or it's pointer manipulation, or that's basically it. It's either doing maths or it's doing memory, and that's fine. That's all PCs do. They do maths and they do memory. So it's a really short step between writing a program in C++ and having the program do what you wanted it to do in the machine. But when you get to something like this, which is basically an enterprise level C++ architecture, which has been given to you as a development platform, and you know, I have this tutorial which is like, do this, do this, do this, do this. There's gaps in the knowledge base. Basically, that's my problem at this moment in time. If something goes wrong with this, I don't fucking know what to do. If something goes wrong with this, the book doesn't tell me how to make it right, doesn't tell me what I've done wrong. The build thing is practically cryptic. And if you go to sort something out, say it has a DLL referencing issue, like it did before when you weren't here, you missed that, thank God, you don't know about that. You go to that, and obviously all the DLLs it's trying to reference are the core installed files from the Unreal Engine. They're on the C drive, they're in the Windows folder, and they're read-only. So yeah, the you could change them if you downloaded the source code of the Unreal Engine, no problem. But I didn't. I'm running the application version of the Unreal Engine because I'm a scrub. But yeah, I don't think we need a new coding language. We just, I think there's some things that we need. We need an earlier adoption, teaching kids about programming in schools, and we need people to stop making such complicated programs to begin with. Thank you, please. Anyway. It's right there. What? Assign mesh to static mesh component through construction helper. Constructor helpers, fObject finder, use static mesh. Sphere asset, text. Game starter content shapes, shape sphere dot shape sphere. What? We've already got the meshy boy. Use static mesh component sphere visual. I don't get why sphere visual came up one time but did not come up the next time. That's worrying. Is it because it's a pointer here? It's a memory address. And then it wants sphere mesh. Is this meant to be sphere mesh? Who knows? We'll just we'll continue for now, but we're obviously gonna have to fix that again. Constructor helpers fObject finder use static mesh. Whoa. Yeah. So we just add those. We add those H files in. Oh, that's a CPP file. Okay, we'll add those files in. We'll include them. And we do need a semicolon. Thank you for reminding me. Adjust properties. If the mesh is good, God, if true. No. Oh no. No. Dot suck. Fuck you. Class, constructor, helpers, F, object, finder, U, static, mesh, has no member, suck. You're welcome. Is that right? 2 E's? 3 E's. 3 fucking E's. Sphere visual. Sphere asset dot object. Oh my god, it makes you type it out if you do that. And can't I just bring the menu up when you type a new letter in? Alright, add some white space for me then. Oh, what was that? I got some mail. Is this everything? This box contain all my jewels? My shipment of the South African diamonds and gold bullion? Sorry about the deboxing interlude here. But gotta debox while you still can. All right, that's helpful. USB detector, excellent. Yeah, I love a new cable for the PS3 controller because I thought I lost mine. And beautiful. It's not branded, but it is made in China, just like Louis Rossman's. I was gonna get one from Rewa, but I thought I was gonna need one a bit earlier than, you know, a month's time. So, you know, I thought I was gonna need it today specifically. Thought I was gonna have to Rewa some stuff. It says these little pockets are magnetic. Should check that. None of these pockets are magnetic. Excellent. That's better. That is actually that makes some noise. That's nice. It's a bit smaller than I thought it was gonna be. And the pockets aren't magnetic, which is a bonus. Like, people are like, oh, I want the magnetic pockets so my screws don't go fucking flying. But, you know what, to be honest, if they were magnetic and you had an IC in there, and the IC had some sensitive component, like a reed switch, or some memory, and it got fucked by the magnet, yo boy, that ain't cool. USB detector. Looks cool. Has 2 outputs, but I'm guessing you can only use one at a time. This is really, really badly made. Woo! Is that USB-C cable? It is USB-C cable. Yeah, it seems to work. So I have no problem with it. But it's significantly more junky than I thought it was going to be. Should have got one of those layered PCB. I'm gonna fucking do with all this plastic wrapping, man. Can't you send you stuff in paper these days? Hello? I'm sure the cable is fine. Not even using the controller right now. Anyway, what were we doing? Were we doing something? We were doing something. I'm sure we were. I'm sure we were programming some stuff. Use sphere visual up here. Pointer to an incomplete class is not allowed. Can I search that online, please? You fucking fucking binged it? Visual Studio, you traitor. Why isn't this blue? No. whatever. Let's build it. It says build it now, so we're gonna build it now. It's gonna give us those 3 arrows back out, and errors. That's 17 errors. Inconsistent DLL linkage, inconsistent DLL linkage. Ugh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so upon now build the project by clicking the local Windows debugger button by pressing F5. Behold the glory of you and your and Epic's compiled code. If your project does not build cleanly, address the output panel and the ID for any errors. Warnings you need to clear up. Start it up, I guess.
20 errors. Okay, so we are exactly back where we started. Oof. It's not good. It's not good. So I'm going to resort to the professional fix, where I post my shitty code onto Stack Overflow, and I have thousands upon thousands of tech gurus laugh at it for the next half hour. That'll be fun. I won't do that live on stream. I mean, I'll post it live on stream, but I'm gonna say it there. It's not gonna say it there. Is it gonna say here? Is it gonna... What? Huh. I'm getting a crook on here. My back is at an angle. What? Let's just I didn't want that. Yeah, okay. No, they're not. They're not all the errors. Why is this editor so fucking small? Why is the text so big? But I just copy those, paste those, yeah. Oh, that's nice. It's fine. It's fine. Just post it. Maybe I'll take out the actual code. We'll just leave in the error boys. There we go. Creating the tag noob requires at least 1500 reputation. Noob. Newbie. Beginner. Scrub. Data scrubbing. Scrub yeet. Yeet. Help. No idea. Clue. Let's just take it off. Let's just. Well, we posted the query to Stack Overflow. We haven't made any progress since the last video. So, in my spare time, if this doesn't get fixed, as the rest of this book is definitely C++, and definitely in a different version of Unreal, might be the problem. I remember Cheetah mentioned last stream or the stream before that Unreal Engine 4 changed a couple of declarations, definitions, procedures about making these things, so hey, we could be out of luck. I'll have to move to a different book. Might have to spend some time reading more C++ book. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for joining the stream. If you enjoyed the stream, thanks for checking out the VOD. If you checked out the VOD, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.